Why does money come easily to some people? It is not because they were born under a special star. It is not because fortune favors them more than you. It is because they learned a simple, eternal truth. Money follows the mind that is open to receive it. There are people who walk through life believing that abundance belongs to them, and life, obedient as it is, brings them exactly what they expect. Money moves toward certainty. Money moves toward confidence. Money moves toward the soul that knows its worth. And listen closely, money does not come to the one who chases it with fear. It comes to the one who stands tall in faith. The moment you say, I am ready for abundance, you awaken a law that has been sleeping inside you. A law that has never once denied anyone who approached it with unwavering trust. A law that responds not to begging, not to worry, not to stress, but to belief. Money begins to move when you stop speaking against your own prosperity. When you release the words of lack, you break the chains around your finances. When you declare, everything I seek is seeking me, you open doors that no force on earth can close. There is a quiet power within you, a guiding voice that knows the path to your good. Those who receive money easily listen to that voice. It whispers ideas. It brings people. It nudges you toward opportunities that seem ordinary at first, but carry extraordinary results. The moment you follow that nudge, the moment you act in faith, you align yourself with increase. Money comes easily to those who treat it with love, not fear, who give without the trembling thought of loss, who trust that every seed multiplies after its own kind, every generous act expands, every grateful thought enriches, every step taken with courage calls forth new supply. And here is the greatest secret of all. Money arrives when you stop forcing it and start flowing with it. When you release the how and cling only to the knowing. When you stop counting the cracks in your path and start counting the promises in your spirit. You were not born to struggle with finance. You were born to command it through your belief. You were not born to chase money. You were born to attract it. You were not born to fear tomorrow. You were born to give thanks for the abundance already on its way. Lift your thoughts now, raise your words, plant ideas of wealth, security, and expansion. Every thought is a seed, every belief a foundation, every expectation a magnet drawing your good toward you. Say with authority, money comes to me freely, easily, and joyfully. My supply is endless, inexhaustible, and immediate. And watch not in doubt, but in faith as life rearranges itself in your favor. For the law is simple, the law is ancient, the law is unbreakable. Money comes easily to the mind that welcomes it. And today, abundance has finally found its way to you. Money responds to inner belief, not outer struggle. This truth stands quietly behind every story of sudden success, effortless opportunity, unexpected provision, and miraculous increase. There are people who work from dawn to dusk, pushing, chasing, laboring with all their strength. Yet the money they seek seems to slip through their fingers like sand. And then there are others who appear to move through life with a certain ease, a calm assurance. A relaxed trust and prosperity seems to follow them as naturally as a shadow follows the body. This difference is not measured by intelligence, background, or luck. It is measured by belief. The world has taught many that money is hard, that one must fight for every penny, that wealth belongs only to the fortunate few. But money is not bound to these ideas. Money is energy, and like all energy, it flows towards certainty, confidence, clarity, and expectation. It avoids fear, doubt, self-rejection, and the inner belief that says, I am not enough. Some people operate from an inner fortress of belief so strong that nothing can shake it. They do not wake with the first thought of worry. They do not walk through their day expecting lack. They may work hard, yes, but their effort is not frantic. Their actions are guided by inner alignment, and their mindset is centered on trust rather than tension. Because they believe that abundance is natural, abundance becomes natural to them. They are not struggling to make money happen. They are allowing money to happen. Their belief creates the opening through which prosperity can enter. It is not the outer hustle that produces results, it is the inner vibration that signals readiness. Money responds instantly to the state of the mind that holds it. When a person is tense, fearful, desperate, or constantly affirming lack with their thoughts and words, they unconsciously push money away. They may be working, striving, and trying, but inwardly they are sending out the message, I am disconnected from abundance. I believe in difficulty. I expect shortage. The universe obeys this message without question. Life mirrors what you believe, not what you beg for. This is why some people seem to labor endlessly without receiving the harvest they deserve. They are working with their hands while their minds are undoing everything their hands are trying to build. On the other hand, the person who attracts money easily carries within them a completely different inner climate. There is a quiet calm beneath their actions, a faith beneath their choices, a knowing beneath their steps. They do not allow every minor setback to shake them. They do not interpret delays as denial. They do not see obstacles as the end of the path, but as a temporary shadow passing across the sun. They have trained their minds to hold the vibration of abundance even when the evidence seems thin. And because they remain centered in belief rather than fear, life brings them opportunities that others cannot see. Their inner belief sharpens their perception, heightens their intuition, and opens their creativity. They notice what others overlook. They act when others hesitate. They follow ideas that others dismiss. They say yes to possibilities that fear would have told them to avoid. This internal harmony, the belief that money is not an enemy, not a burden, not an impossible achievement, creates a magnetic pull. Money gravitates toward the mind that welcomes it. It is not attracted to panic, desperation, or self-loathing. It is attracted to balance, confidence, and appreciation. A person's belief either becomes a door or a wall. For some, that door is wide open. For others, the wall is reinforced by years of conditioning. But the moment a person begins to change the belief behind the wall, cracks begin to form, light begins to enter, and eventually the wall collapses under the truth. Abundance has always been waiting for permission to enter. Those who attract money easily give that permission without resistance. They believe they deserve financial comfort. They believe they are worthy of opportunity. They believe that good things can happen to them. They do not see themselves as victims of fate or prisoners of past experiences. They understand that the mind holds the seed of every future harvest. Wherever belief goes, life follows. When a person feels worthy of wealth, money is drawn to them. When they feel unworthy, money retreats. The energy within a person speaks louder than their actions. You can visualize two individuals standing in the same place, performing the same tasks, working the same hours. One radiates belief, expectation, and confidence. The other radiates fear, doubt, and tension. Though their actions appear identical, their outcomes will not be. The person aligned with belief will receive opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere. They may meet the right people at the right time. They may discover new paths to income. They may find themselves in environments that lead to prosperity. Meanwhile, the person filled with fear may constantly feel blocked, overlooked, or underpaid. It is not the universe withholding, it is belief filtering experience. Money is fluent in the language of energy. It hears the silent message beneath every thought. It responds to the vibrations we cannot hide. Those who attract money easily have learned to speak the language of abundance. They think thoughts that create expansion. They speak words that affirm possibility. They visualize outcomes that support their highest potential. Their belief sends out a steady signal. I am prepared, I am open, I am ready to receive. That signal is answered. Outer struggle cannot override inner disbelief. You may work harder than ever, take on countless tasks, push your limits every day, and still find yourself stressed, drained, and financially stuck. But the moment you shift your internal belief, the moment you stop fighting money and start aligning with it, everything begins to transform. You feel lighter, ideas come more easily, opportunities feel closer. Your actions become more effective because they are no longer coming from desperation, but from a centered place of empowerment. Money comes easily to those who understand that the real work begins within. They know that the mind is the generator of all prosperity, and when the generator is clean, focused, and charged with belief, the outer world must respond. They do not chase money, they prepare themselves for it. They do not doubt their future, they speak to it with authority. They do not battle with fear, they neutralize it with truth. And because their belief is rooted in certainty, money recognizes them as a safe place to land. When someone says, "Money comes easily to me," it is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is the affirmation of a person who has learned that abundance is not the reward of suffering, but the reflection of belief. And the moment that belief becomes your own, money stops being a stranger and becomes a faithful companion, responding not to struggle, but to the quiet, steady power of your inner certainty. Some people seem to attract money effortlessly because they have formed a harmonious inner relationship with abundance. They do not treat money as a rare guest that visits only once in a lifetime. They treat it as a natural part of life, as constant and dependable as the sunrise. To them, abundance is not a fantasy, not a distant dream, not something reserved for the lucky or the chosen. It is a living force that surrounds them, flows through them, and responds to their expectations. They have removed the emotional tension that most people hold around money. They have replaced fear with familiarity, scarcity with trust, and anxiety with appreciation. This inner harmony changes everything. When a person believes that money is difficult, money becomes difficult. When they believe that money is scarce, life reflects scarcity at every turn. But those who attract money easily do not carry those beliefs. They see money as something that is always circulating, always moving, always searching for places where it is welcomed, appreciated, and respected. They understand that money flows in the same way the ocean moves constantly, rhythmically, and without ever running out. Because they accept this truth, they never feel threatened by spending, giving, or investing. They know that what leaves their hands is never lost. It simply joins the flow and returns multiplied. This peaceful relationship with abundance makes their environment fertile for prosperity. They do not argue with money, they do not fear money, they do not resent money, they do not worship it, but neither do they distrust it. Their attitude is balanced, steady, and aligned. This alignment sends out a silent signal to life itself, announcing that they are open to receive. Opportunities appear because opportunities recognize readiness. Financial blessings arrive because blessings are drawn to the heart that welcomes them without trembling. Many people unknowingly treat money like an unpredictable force that may harm them or disappoint them. They clutch it tightly out of fear or push it away through resentment. They believe money causes problems, arguments, heartbreak, or stress. They inherit generations of negative beliefs and never question them. This internal conflict creates a barrier between them and abundance, because you cannot attract what you fear, resent, or mistrust. But those who attract money easily have healed that conflict. They see money as neutral, a tool, a resource, an energy that expands the good they can do in the world. They have no shame in receiving it and no guilt in using it. In their minds, abundance is not a burden, it is a blessing. This perspective alone transforms their financial life. They expect good, so they receive good. They expect increase, so increase finds them. They expect opportunities, so ideas come with clarity and timing. Their relationship with money feels safe, healthy, and flow-based, not chaotic or crisis-driven. And because they carry this peace, money feels at home with them. Money gravitates toward peace. A harmonious relationship with abundance also affects the way they behave. They make decisions without panic. They allow money to circulate rather than imprisoning it. They trust that the universe supports their intentions, so they do not sabotage themselves with fearful actions. When the time comes to invest, they do so with confidence. When the time comes to spend, they do so with gratitude. When the time comes to save, they do so with wisdom. Their actions are thoughtful, but not fearful, grounded, but not restricted. This kind of person often experiences financial blessings that others call luck. But luck has very little to do with it. It is alignment. When you live in harmony with abundance, life brings you the right people, the right timing, and the right ideas. When you trust the flow supports you. When you stop fighting money, money stops avoiding you. Those who attract money easily have learned that the battle is not won in the bank account, it is won in the mind. They do not look at bills with dread. They look at them with a calm understanding that provision will meet every obligation. They do not fear unexpected expenses because their mindset is anchored in trust. And trust is magnetic. Trust is creative. Trust invites solutions that fear cannot see. People who attract money easily live in this state of trust daily, and it shows in the way they think, speak, plan, and act. Their environment reflects their inner state. They surround themselves with inspiration rather than negativity. They spend time around ideas that elevate their vibration. They avoid conversations that belittle their dreams or reinforce scarcity. They choose thoughts that expand their capacity to receive. They treat their minds like sacred ground, planting only seeds that produce abundance. Their mental garden is free from weeds of doubt, fear, resentment, or envy. Because they cultivate harmony within, abundance thrives around them. Above all, they see money as a partner rather than a problem. They see it as an ally in their growth, their freedom, their creativity, and their generosity. They understand that money amplifies the heart of the person who holds it, so they nurture a heart that is steady, grateful, and aligned with good. They value abundance not for the sake of possession, but for the sake of expansion. And this pure intention removes all resistance from their energy. People who attract money easily are not different because life chose them. They are different because they chose a new way of thinking. They chose harmony over fear. They chose trust over scarcity. They chose belief over doubt. They chose to see abundance as something natural instead of something forbidden. And because they chose this perspective, life chose to honor it. Their inner world and outer world mirror each other, reflecting a simple truth. Money responds to the heart that is at peace with receiving it. Abundance flows where it feels welcomed. And those who attract money easily have made their inner environment a home where prosperity can rest, grow, and return again and again. Many people struggle with money not because opportunities are absent, but because old patterns of fear, doubt, and unworthiness are sitting silently in the background of their minds, disrupting the flow of abundance long before it ever reaches their hand. These inner patterns act like invisible chains, binding the person to cycles of limitation, scarcity, and disappointment. People who attract money easily have done the inner work to release these patterns. They have cleaned their inner space. They have confronted the beliefs that once held them hostage. They have looked directly at the shadows in their minds and said, "You no longer rule me." And in doing so, they created an open doorway through which prosperity could finally enter. Fear is one of the greatest blocks to financial flow. Fear whispers, "What if you fail? What if you lose everything? What if you don't deserve more?" Fear makes people small when life is calling them to expand. Fear convinces them to stay where they are, to cling to the familiar, even when the familiar is uncomfortable. Fear keeps people trapped in jobs that drain them, relationships that limit them, and financial patterns that exhaust them. But those who attract money easily have learned that fear cannot be negotiated with, it must be released. They have chosen courage over comfort, faith over fear, movement over paralysis. They understand that abundance cannot coexist with terror. When fear is allowed to dominate, abundance retreats. When fear is dismissed, abundance approaches. Doubt is another silent enemy of prosperity. Doubt erodes confidence, weakens decision making, and slows momentum. Doubt whispers, maybe it won't work. Maybe you should wait. Maybe you are not ready. Doubt makes people second, guess every idea, every opportunity, every step forward. It turns progress into hesitation and hesitation into defeat. But people who attract money easily do not give doubt a home. They may feel doubt like anyone else, but they refuse to let it take root. They counter doubt with belief. They speak to themselves with strength. They affirm their path even when they cannot see the entire road ahead. They trust that life supports the bold, not the uncertain. Their willingness to move despite doubt becomes the very force that draws abundance toward them. But perhaps the deepest and most damaging pattern of all is unworthiness. Unworthiness hides behind every financial struggle, every self-sabotaging behavior, every missed opportunity. It tells a person that success is for others, not for them. It convinces them they are not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough, not lucky enough. Unworthiness makes people shrink from their own potential. It makes them reject blessings even as they pray for them. It makes them feel guilty for wanting more, ashamed of their desires, fearful of being seen. Those who attract money easily have dismantled this belief. They have stepped into the truth that they are inherently worthy not because of what they have done, but because of who they are. They recognize that abundance is not a prize to be earned, but a birthright to be accepted. When they finally decide they deserve good, good finally finds them. People who carry guilt or resentment also unknowingly block their financial flow. Guilt makes them believe they must suffer to compensate for past mistakes. Resentment anchors them to old wounds and prevents new blessings from entering. Guilt says, I should not have more. Resentment says, I cannot move forward until others repay me. Both energies freeze prosperity. Those who attract money easily have released these emotional burdens. They forgive themselves, they forgive others. They let go of the past so the future can approach without resistance. They understand that holding on to emotional pain does not punish anyone but themselves. Releasing these blocks frees their energy and allows abundance to circulate. People who attract money easily also let go of scarcity thinking. Scarcity thinking is the belief that there is never enough, not enough time, not enough opportunity, not enough support, not enough money. This mindset creates fear-driven decisions and scarcity-driven habits. It makes people hoard instead of circulate, withdraw instead of expand, hesitate instead of act. But those aligned with abundance operate from fullness rather than lack. They believe opportunities are countless, ideas never-ending, possibilities limitless. This belief shifts their energy from contraction to expansion, and abundance responds to expansion like a magnet. Another powerful pattern they release is the need for control. Many people try to control every outcome, every detail, every step of their financial journey. Control is rooted in fear. It is the belief that if they do not force life into shape, everything will fall apart. But control tightens the flow, creates tension, and suffocates creativity. Those who attract money easily have learned to trust the process. They take inspired action, but they do not choke the universe with demands. They allow life to unfold. They allow timing to work. They allow solutions to appear in ways they never expected. By releasing control, they create space for miracles. People who attract money easily also release limiting beliefs inherited from childhood, culture, family, or society. Many people grow up hearing statements like money is evil, rich people are greedy, you must suffer to succeed, or people like us can't make it. These beliefs linger in the subconscious long after childhood ends, shaping the person's financial destiny without their awareness. Those who attract money easily examine these beliefs and replace them with truths that empower rather than imprison. They understand that money simply amplifies who a person already is and that abundance allows them to give, build, help, and uplift on a larger scale. Releasing old patterns requires awareness, intention, and persistence. It requires looking inward with honesty and acknowledging the beliefs that have shaped one's financial life. People who attract money easily do this inner work consistently. They treat their mind as sacred ground, cleaning it, tending it, cultivating it. They do not allow negative beliefs to grow unchecked. They uproot them before they become emotional weeds strangling their potential. And as each layer of fear, doubt, unworthiness, guilt, resentment, scarcity, and control is released, a clearer channel opens, the energy becomes lighter, the mind becomes calmer, the heart becomes wider. Abundance begins to flow, money begins to feel natural, opportunities begin to appear, the person begins to move through life with confidence rather than caution. This inner transformation is the foundation of effortless financial attraction. When the inside is healed, the outside must follow. When old patterns are released, new blessings can finally enter, and those who attract money easily are simply those who made the courageous choice to clean their inner world so their outer world could finally rise to meet them. There is a reason money moves towards certain people as naturally as rivers flow toward the sea. And at the heart of that reason lies the principle of unwavering belief. Those who receive with ease are not necessarily the ones with extraordinary intelligence, privileged backgrounds, or perfect circumstances. They are the ones who have mastered the art of believing before seeing, of aligning their inner world so completely with the truth of abundance that their external world has no choice but to follow. This belief is not wishful thinking. It is a spiritual certainty, a deep inner knowing that refuses to bend, even in the presence of delay or difficulty. It is the invisible force that shapes the visible outcome. When a person's belief is unwavering, the universe reads that conviction like a command. The soil of their mind becomes fertile for ideas, their intuition sharpens, and their perception expands to notice opportunities that others walk past blindly. They develop an inner resilience that allows them to face challenges without collapsing into fear. When life shakes them, they are not uprooted, they bend and rise again. This strength of belief creates consistency, and consistency creates results. Anyone can be hopeful when everything is going right, but those who attract money effortlessly carry their belief like a torch in the darkness. They do not let circumstances dictate their faith. Instead, their faith begins to dictate their circumstances. There is a certain calmness in those who hold strong belief. They do not panic at the sight of a temporary setback or an unexpected bill. They do not assume the worst. Instead, they expect divine timing, divine solutions, and divine supply. They trust that what is theirs cannot be taken, delayed, or denied. This trust dissolves fear long before fear has the chance to take root. They walk with a quiet confidence, a steady rhythm, a spiritual poise that makes room for blessings to land. Money gravitates toward peace because peace is proof of belief. Where there is worry, alignment is broken. Where there is doubt, the flow weakens. But where there is unwavering faith, abundance enters like a welcomed guest. No matter how talented or hardworking someone is, if their belief wavers, their abundance wavers with it. When the inner voice whispers, "It's too hard, maybe it won't happen," or "What if I fail?" the universe reflects that uncertainty back through closed doors and missed opportunities. But those who attract wealth easily do not indulge these thoughts. When fear knocks, they do not invite it inside. When doubt appears, they silence it with truth. They choose the thought that uplifts, the thought that strengthens, the thought that aligns. And over time, these choices form a foundation so strong that nothing can shake it. Unwavering belief also means believing in one's own worth. Many desire abundance but subconsciously feel unworthy of receiving it. They shrink themselves, they minimize their dreams, they talk themselves out of blessings. They expect less because somewhere, someone convinced them they deserve less. but those who attract money effortlessly have rewritten that inner script. They know their worth is not measured by background, mistakes, education, or circumstance. Their worth is inherent, given by creation, immovable, eternal. They walk through life with the energy of someone who belongs in every room they enter. They do not apologize for wanting more. They do not feel guilty for receiving. They understand that abundance honors those who honor themselves. This belief extends beyond themselves and into their understanding of the world. They believe in the friendliness of life. They trust that they are supported. They hold the assumption that things work out for them. They see the world as abundant, not limited, generous, not withholding. This world, you becomes the container that holds their prosperity. A person who sees the world as scarce will fight for every penny, feel threatened by others' success, and compete instead of create. But the one who sees the world as abundant moves with openness, generosity, creativity, and confidence. This attitude expands their field of possibilities, attracting opportunities that are drawn to their optimistic, high-frequency energy. Unwavering belief is not built in a day. It is cultivated daily. It is maintained through discipline of thought, through choosing faith over fear, through speaking words that align with abundance rather than lack. Those who receive easily understand that their words carry power. They speak prosperity into their lives. They declare what they desire without hesitation. They bless their income, their work, their ideas, and even their challenges. They know that what they speak consistently becomes their experience. Their voice does not tremble when they talk about their future. Their tone carries conviction. Their words carry authority, and the universe responds to that authority like a servant responding to its master. Belief is further strengthened through visualization. These individuals see their prosperity long before it arrives, not as fantasy, but as reality in progress. They use their imagination not as an escape, but as a creative force. They understand that imagination is the blueprint of manifestation. When they visualize, they feel the experience deeply. They embody the emotion of already having what they desire. This emotional resonance is what calls abundance into form. The universe speaks in the language of emotion, not words. When a person feels wealthy inside, their outer world begins arranging itself to mirror that feeling. Those who attract money easily also understand the power of persistence. Belief does not falter at the first sign of delay. Delay is not denial, it is preparation. It is alignment. It is the unseen orchestration of events that must occur before the blessing arrives. They remain steady, even when nothing seems to be happening. They remain faithful, even when the path looks quiet. Their belief carries them through the silent seasons, and because they do not break, their breakthrough comes. There is something magnetic about unwavering belief. It draws resources, ideas, allies, and opportunities. It transforms the believer into someone others want to support. People trust those who trust themselves. People follow those who walk with conviction. People invest in those who radiate certainty. This magnetism is not accidental. It is spiritual physics. The energy of belief amplifies a person's presence, and amplified presence attracts amplified blessings. Ultimately, those who receive with ease have mastered the lesson that belief is the foundation of all prosperity. They understand that money is a reflection of internal alignment, and alignment is built on trust. Trust in self, trust in divine supply, trust in the unseen laws that govern abundance. Their belief becomes their shield, their compass, their gateway, and their guarantee. They do not wait for life to show them abundance. They bring abundance forth through the power of belief that does not waver. One of the most powerful secrets of those who attract money effortlessly is their understanding of generosity and the principle of circulation. They do not clutch wealth as though it were a finite resource to be hoarded, nor do they fear giving because they trust in the inexhaustible flow of life. They know that giving freely is not a loss but an act of alignment with the laws of abundance. and they recognize that the energy with which they release resources, whether money, time, or service, is returned multiplied. Those who attract wealth easily understand that money is not stagnant. It is alive, it is dynamic, it is a flowing energy that responds to movement. When they give, they create a channel through which more can return, and they do so with joy rather than hesitation. They understand that every coin spent in faith, every act of generosity extended without fear, becomes a seed of greater abundance that will grow in ways often unseen. Generosity is not merely financial. It is an attitude, a way of being. Those who attract money effortlessly give compliments, encouragement, attention, time, energy, ideas, and support to others. They do not calculate the return. They give because giving reflects their inner alignment with the principle of circulation. This open-handedness sends a powerful signal to the universe that they are not clinging to scarcity, but are welcoming the endless possibilities of abundance. When a person fears giving, the universe reads that fear and contracts. When a person gives freely, it reads openness and expands. Money and opportunities are drawn to the energy of circulation, and those who attract money easily understand this invisible law intuitively, even if they cannot put it into words. They also recognize that giving multiplies when it is done with the right intention. Giving out of guilt, obligation, or hope for repayment is not the same as giving from faith, joy, or love. The energy behind the act is what sets the stage for return. They give with confidence, gratitude, and expectation, knowing that every act of generosity becomes a magnet for new blessings. They bless what they give, and in blessing it, they amplify its power. A simple gift becomes a ripple in the river of life, moving outward, gathering momentum, and eventually returning in unexpected and abundant ways. Those who understand this law live with ease, knowing that giving is not a depletion of resources, but a declaration of trust in life's infinite supply. Moreover, generosity creates a vibration of trust. Those who attract money easily are never preoccupied with holding tightly or guarding what they have, because they know that abundance is not measured by possession, but by flow. Fear-based clinging constricts energy, blocks creativity, and repels opportunity. In contrast, giving freely without anxiety, judgment, or hesitation opens channels of possibility. Money, like water, seeks paths of least resistance. When hands are open, the path is clear. When hearts are generous, the flow is abundant. They understand that fear restricts, but faith expands. They give as an expression of belief that life supports them and that supply is limitless. This principle of giving also builds alignment with purpose. Those who attract wealth effortlessly often see their abundance as a tool to create, to serve, and to uplift. They do not see money as an end in itself, but as a means to express creativity, solve problems, and enhance life, both their own and others. By giving, they participate in a continuous cycle of life where resources circulate freely, and their involvement with this cycle strengthens their connection to the universal flow. They are not hoarders, but channels. They are not consumers only, but contributors. This consciousness of contribution amplifies the energy they emit, and in turn attracts more abundance into their lives. Another aspect of this principle is the joy with which they give. Money given reluctantly or resentfully sends a completely different signal than money given with love, confidence, and expectation. Those who attract money effortlessly infuse generosity with joy. Their giving is a celebration of abundance, not a reluctant release from scarcity. This joy multiplies the energy behind the act. It is as if the universe reads the vibration and says, "You are ready for more." The energy of joy acts as a magnet, drawing new opportunities, ideas, partnerships, and wealth toward them. Money is drawn not merely to the act of giving, but to the consciousness with which the act is performed. These individuals also give in alignment with their capacity. They do not give to the point of stress or self-depletion, but they give in harmony with their means, trusting that supply will continue to meet their needs. They do not worry about how much they can spare, for they have faith that every gift plants a seed that life will nurture. Giving is never reckless but intentional and joyful. They understand the rhythm of giving and receiving, and they trust the cycle. Their energy is calm, confident, and expectant, which allows abundance to flow smoothly without strain or tension. Generosity, in essence, opens the mind, the heart, and the soul to abundance. It removes resistance and builds vibrational alignment with the energy of life itself. The more freely a person gives, the more freely life responds. Those who attract money effortlessly understand that money is not something to hoard, fear, or resist. It is something to circulate, something to bless, and something to allow to grow. They embody the principle that energy must flow to remain alive, and they treat wealth as living energy. By giving freely, they honor the law of circulation, which in turn returns to them in forms often unexpected, always abundant, and infinitely satisfying. The act of giving also amplifies belief. When a person gives generously, they reinforce their trust in the universe's ability to provide. Each act of giving becomes evidence that supply is constant, life is abundant, and their own needs will always be met. This repeated reinforcement strengthens their inner alignment and ensures that their vibration remains high, clear, and magnetic. Money does not hesitate in the presence of someone whose heart is open. Opportunities do not hesitate in the presence of someone whose energy is generous. Life does not hesitate in the presence of someone who participates joyfully in the principle of circulation. This is the invisible law that those who attract wealth understand intuitively. In practice, this principle transforms their everyday life. They look for opportunities to give, whether through financial gifts, encouragement, mentorship, time, or resources. They find joy in small acts as well as large ones. Every transaction, every gesture, every interaction is imbued with the consciousness of abundance. This mindfulness turns routine actions into powerful channels of energy, and this energy compounds over time. The flow becomes unstoppable. Money moves to them not by chance, but by the invisible magnetism of a life lived in alignment with generosity, trust, and faith. In essence, the people who attract money effortlessly understand the law that governs the invisible world. Energy flows where it is welcomed, and multiplies where it is released in faith and joy. They know that giving is not a sacrifice, but a sacred tool. They know that by giving, they are co-creating with life, participating in the continuous circulation of abundance, and allowing prosperity to become a natural expression of their inner alignment. By embodying this principle, they do not chase money. They do not beg for it. They do not worry over it. Instead, they become living magnets for abundance, and the universe responds in kind, rewarding their faith, their openness, and their generosity with riches, opportunities, and blessings beyond imagination. Another reason money comes easily to certain people is that they understand the subtle but powerful influence of focus and attention. Their minds do not scatter across worry, fear, or the endless list of what is lacking. Instead, they focus deliberately on what they wish to create, who they wish to become, and the life they are building. This focus is not mere daydreaming or blind optimism. It is an intentional act of consciousness that directs energy toward results. The universe responds to attention. Where the mind goes, energy flows. Those who attract money effortlessly are masters of their attention. They do not let it be hijacked by negativity, comparison, or doubt. They direct it like a laser beam, and in doing so, they shape circumstances that others often think of as coincidence or luck. In truth, it is the power of unwavering attention combined with belief. Focus is strengthened through clarity. Those who attract abundance easily know exactly what they want, why they want it, and how it will feel when it arrives. Vague desires scatter energy and dilute results. Unclear intentions invite confusion, hesitation, and delay. The person who attracts wealth defines their desires in vivid detail. They see themselves succeeding, earning, creating, and giving. They feel the emotion of that success as though it were happening in the present. Their clarity acts as a magnetic blueprint. The universe is like clay in their hands, ready to form around the strong image of their belief and expectation. Clarity transforms desire into energy that compels action, opens doors, and manifests results beyond what mere effort could achieve. Equally important is the way they sustain their attention despite challenges. Life will test focus with distractions, delays, and obstacles, but the aligned individual does not waver. They understand that interruption is not rejection and that obstacles are not permanent. They redirect their focus with patience, persistence, and faith. This persistent attention signals to the universe that they are committed, that they are ready, and that they will not settle for less than their vision. This consistency in attention is what separates those who attract money easily from those who struggle. Energy follows attention, and attention generates momentum. Momentum, in turn, produces results. Those who master this cycle become magnets for abundance. They also understand that attention without emotional alignment is incomplete. It is not enough to focus solely on action or strategy. The focus must be infused with emotion, belief, and expectation. Those who attract wealth effortlessly visualize, imagine, and feel the life they desire. They feel joy at the thought of receiving money. They feel pride in their abilities. They feel gratitude for the abundance that is already in motion. Emotion transforms attention into energy. Without feeling, the mind's attention can scatter, weaken, or lose impact. With feeling, attention becomes magnetic, drawing circumstances, people, and opportunities toward the desired outcome as though pulled by an invisible force. This is why some people can work harder than others but achieve less, while others seem to receive with ease. They focus with aligned emotion, not just effort. Another element is selective attention. Those who attract money effortlessly are discerning about where they place their mental energy. They avoid absorbing stories of lack, negativity, or despair. They do not fixate on economic downturns, scarcity, driven news, or other people's failures. They choose to observe life through the lens of abundance, possibility, and solutions. This selective focus creates a protective filter for the mind, ensuring that every thought, every idea, and every day is aligned with their goal of prosperity. Attention is like a lens through which life is magnified. Focus it on limitation, and scarcity dominates. Focus it on opportunity, and abundance emerges. They make this choice consciously and consistently. Focus also amplifies action. While the world believes that effort alone produces results, those who attract money effortlessly understand that action is the product of inner alignment. When attention is directed clearly and consistently toward a goal, the actions taken become inspired, efficient, and effective. They notice what others overlook. They move at the right time, with the right people, in the right direction. Their steps are not random or desperate. They are deliberate, aligned, and in harmony with opportunity. Attention creates awareness. Awareness creates inspired action, and inspired action produces measurable results. This cycle reinforces itself, producing momentum that compounds over time. A person's financial life is largely shaped by where their attention rests daily. Those who attract money effortlessly spend their mental energy on solutions, opportunities, growth, creativity, and gratitude. They do not dwell on bills, setbacks, or perceived limitations. Instead, they ask, what can I create next? What doors are open to me? How can I turn this moment into progress? This choice of attention shifts their energy from contraction to expansion, from fear to faith, from limitation to possibility. Money, opportunities, and ideas are drawn to expansion. The universe responds to clarity and alignment far more than to frantic effort or desperation. Focus also strengthens belief, which magnifies attraction. The more concentrated a person's attention on their financial vision, the more they reinforce the belief that it is achievable, inevitable, and natural. Attention without belief is fragile. Belief without attention is dormant. Together, they create an energetic engine that propels abundance forward. Those who attract money easily maintain this alignment consistently, not occasionally. They feed their inner vision daily with attention, imagination, and emotion, ensuring that their energy is continually tuned to the frequency of prosperity. Another key factor is their attention to opportunities that are already present. They do not wait for ideal conditions, but notice the possibilities around them, no matter how small or unexpected. A chance meeting, a simple idea, a minor investment, all become visible and actionable because their focus is sharpened. They do not overlook these small things, as others often do. In their eyes, every opportunity is valuable, every idea is potentially profitable, and every interaction is a seed for abundance. By training attention to recognize value, they multiply the impact of their actions and increase the likelihood of receiving. Finally, those who attract money effortlessly align their attention with abundance rather than lack. Every day, every thought, and every conversation is subtly tuned toward what they want rather than what they fear. This focus on positive outcomes, expectation of prosperity, and clarity of vision ensures that money and opportunity cannot help but flow toward them. They understand that energy responds to attention, and attention cannot be divided between fear and faith, scarcity and possibility, doubt and belief. It must choose. They choose abundance, and the universe obeys. One of the defining qualities of people who attract money effortlessly is their ability to cultivate patience without losing momentum. They understand that abundance is not a race, a frantic scramble, or a desperate pursuit. It is a natural law that unfolds according to timing far greater than any individual's control. Those who receive wealth easily do not demand immediate results, nor do they grow anxious when progress appears slow. They have learned to trust the rhythm of life, to understand that what is meant for them will arrive in the perfect moment. Patience for them is not passivity, it is active faith, a deliberate state of waiting with confidence rather than fear. They move with purpose, yet they wait without worry, understanding that timing is a part of the invisible structure of abundance. They know that the universe orchestrates circumstances in a way that aligns with their highest good, even if it is not immediately visible. Patience is intertwined with persistence. Those who attract money effortlessly are not idle. They work consistently, thoughtfully, and with faith. They understand that some blessings take time to manifest, and that each action, no matter how small, compounds in unseen ways to produce significant results. The impatient person abandons projects at the first obstacle, becomes discouraged by delays, or changes direction too quickly. But the person aligned with abundance understands that life is a series of unfolding steps, and that the key is to remain steady, consistent, and faithful. Every deliberate action, coupled with patience, acts as a signal to the universe that they are ready to receive and prepared to steward their prosperity wisely. They also practice emotional patience. Life is filled with moments that test belief, a bill that arrives unexpectedly, an opportunity delayed, a setback in business or career. Those who attract money easily do not let these moments shake their inner state. They recognize that external circumstances are temporary and mutable, but their inner alignment is what governs the flow of abundance. They remain calm, composed, and centered, refusing to let fear, frustration, or doubt dictate their responses. This emotional stability creates a vibration that attracts solutions, opportunities, and resources. Money flows to the calm, not the frantic, because abundance responds to energy, not urgency. Another aspect of patience is trust in the unseen. Those who receive effortlessly understand that much of the work of abundance is invisible. Seeds planted today will take time to grow. Actions taken now may bear fruit months or years later. They are willing to invest energy without immediate proof of return. They have faith in the invisible laws that govern life, knowing that every effort aligned with clarity, intention, and ethical action contributes to the ultimate manifestation of their desires. This trust allows them to act boldly without the need for constant reassurance, and it shields them from disappointment when outcomes are delayed. Patience also allows them to recognize value that others overlook. While the impatient are blinded by the desire for immediate results, the patient see opportunities for long-term gain. They understand that quick wins are fleeting, but investments in relationships, skills, knowledge, and personal development accumulate exponentially over time. They nurture these opportunities, knowing that consistent attention and care yield abundance beyond what instant gratification could produce. Patience, in this way, becomes a strategic tool as well as a spiritual practice, ensuring that they do not chase fleeting gains but align with enduring prosperity. The combination of patience and faith transforms waiting into an active state of preparation. While they wait, they refine skills, expand knowledge, and strengthen their vision. They cultivate habits, relationships, and practices that enhance their ability to receive. They do not sit idle. Their waiting is dynamic. They use this time to grow internally, so that when opportunity arrives, they are ready to handle it with wisdom, grace, and confidence. This preparation ensures that they are not only recipients of abundance but capable stewards of it, which allows the flow to continue and expand rather than stop or reverse. Another crucial element is their ability to detach from the outcome. Those who attract money effortlessly do not obsess over how, when, or from whom their blessings will come. They do not demand that life produce results on their timetable. They release attachment to specifics, trusting that life will orchestrate circumstances in ways that may surpass their imagination. This detachment reduces resistance, which is often created by worry, control, and fixation on results. When they focus on the process rather than the pressure, abundance flows naturally, almost as a side effect of their alignment and effort. Life responds to surrender in the same way it responds to focus, consistently, predictably, and generously. Patience also cultivates discernment. They are able to wait for the right opportunity, the right partner, the right investment, or the right alignment rather than rushing into situations that appear convenient but are not optimal. Impulsiveness often results in missteps, lost resources, and missed opportunities. Those aligned with abundance understand that it is better to wait in faith for the perfect moment than to force outcomes prematurely. This discernment ensures that their actions produce maximum return with minimal resistance, which reinforces the flow of abundance. A key part of their patient approach is gratitude for what is already present. They do not measure patience as suffering or lack. They see waiting as part of the rhythm of life, appreciating what they have while expecting more. Gratitude amplifies their energy, elevates their vibration, and signals to the universe that they are ready for more. Waiting without appreciation, by contrast, breeds frustration, doubt, and resistance. Those who attract money effortlessly cultivate an attitude of thankfulness in every stage, knowing that every moment of patience, every moment of faith, and every step of preparation is contributing to their ultimate success. Finally, patience reinforces belief. The longer a person maintains faith in the unseen without being swayed by fear or doubt, the stronger their belief becomes. Their trust solidifies into an unshakable certainty that abundance is inevitable. This unshakable belief, in turn, attracts wealth more powerfully than any calculation, strategy, or method. Patience becomes not just a practice, but a magnet. Money, opportunities, and success are drawn to those who understand the rhythm of waiting, the power of preparation, and the law of divine timing. They do not chase, they align. They do not grasp, they open. They do not demand, they trust. And in that space of calm, confident patience, abundance flows naturally, inevitably, and effortlessly. The final key reason money comes easily to certain people is their mastery of gratitude, not as a polite habit, but as a powerful spiritual practice that aligns them with the frequency of abundance. Gratitude is far more than saying thank you for what arrives. It is a conscious, deliberate recognition that life is generous, that opportunities exist even in challenges, and that every experience carries the seed of wealth in its lessons. Those who attract money effortlessly understand that the energy of appreciation acts like a magnet, drawing more of what is valued into their lives. It is the language of abundance that the universe understands intuitively. Every thought, every emotion, every expression of gratitude amplifies the vibration of prosperity and opens channels that might otherwise remain closed. Gratitude shifts perspective from lack to abundance, from fear to faith. While most people are preoccupied with what they do not have, the truly prosperous focus on what they already possess. This does not mean they settle or stagnate. It means they acknowledge the blessings that exist, no matter how small, and let that acknowledgement fuel hope, expectation, and creativity. Each recognition of abundance, each heartfelt appreciation for income received, opportunities presented, or even challenges that teach resilience, reinforces an inner state that is compatible with more abundance. Gratitude becomes a bridge between the visible world of circumstances and the invisible world of energy, where the laws of prosperity are most potent. Those who attract money easily also express gratitude in advance, a practice sometimes called preemptive or anticipatory gratitude. They do not wait for abundance to appear before giving thanks. They thank the universe as though prosperity is already present. They feel the emotion of having the desired money, opportunity, or success, and express appreciation for it now. This forward-looking gratitude creates a vibrational match for their desires, compelling the universe to manifest what is already energetically acknowledged. By giving thanks in advance, they communicate certainty, expectation, and alignment, bypassing doubt and fear that so often block the flow of resources. Gratitude also strengthens emotional resilience. Life is filled with unexpected expenses, delays, and setbacks, but those aligned with abundance maintain an attitude of appreciation, even under pressure. Where others see problems, they see lessons, opportunities, or redirection. Where others see scarcity, they see potential. This resilience allows them to remain calm, confident, and open to solutions, keeping their energy in a high frequency state that attracts money effortlessly. The universe responds to elevated energy, and gratitude is one of the most potent ways to maintain that elevation consistently. People who attract money effortlessly integrate gratitude into their daily routines, turning it into a habit, a ritual, and a lens through which they view life. They may consciously reflect on their blessings each morning, write down what they are thankful for, or verbally acknowledge the support, opportunities, and prosperity around them. These practices are not superficial. They transform the subconscious mind, which governs most of our habits, expectations, and responses. A mind regularly tuned to appreciation begins to filter life through a lens of abundance, automatically noticing possibilities, resources, and pathways that others miss. Gratitude sharpens perception and aligns thought patterns with wealth creation. Gratitude is also intrinsically linked to generosity. The act of giving is more powerful when it flows from genuine appreciation for what one already has. Those who attract money effortlessly give freely, not from fear or obligation, but from a recognition of life's endless supply and the joy of sharing. This act of giving reinforces the energetic law of circulation. They understand that by appreciating and sharing what flows through them, they participate in a larger cycle of abundance, creating openings for money, opportunities, and blessings to return multiplied. Gratitude and generosity work hand in hand to amplify prosperity in ways that mere effort or strategy cannot. Another aspect of gratitude is its effect on decision making. Those aligned with abundance make choices from a place of recognition and appreciation rather than scarcity or desperation. They evaluate opportunities not based on fear, but on the potential to expand, create, and grow. Gratitude allows them to act from confidence and faith rather than anxiety and panic. This clarity improves discernment, ensuring that every action taken is in harmony with long-term abundance. By approaching life with a mindset of appreciation, they naturally attract people, situations, and resources that align with that vibration. Gratitude also counteracts the most common barriers to wealth: fear, doubt, and resentment. When a person cultivates genuine appreciation, they neutralize the emotional blocks that repel money. Fear loses its grip because the individual has chosen to see the abundance already present. Doubt fades because repeated acknowledgement of blessings reinforces belief. Resentment dissolves because appreciation softens the heart and opens it to receive freely. Money responds to emotional clarity, and gratitude is the vehicle through which this clarity is expressed consistently. Those who attract money effortlessly also practice gratitude for challenges and lessons, not just the comfortable, easy, or obvious blessings. They recognize that every setback carries information, opportunity, and direction. They are thankful for experiences that teach patience, resilience, creativity, and discernment. This approach transforms obstacles into allies rather than enemies. By maintaining appreciation in the face of difficulty, they keep their vibration high, their mind focused, and their energy aligned with abundance, ensuring that prosperity continues to flow toward them without interruption. In addition, gratitude strengthens the relationship between inner vision and outer manifestation. Those aligned with abundance do not merely hope for money. They thank the universe for it, feel it deeply, and act as though it is already present. This combination of emotional engagement, clear focus, and heartfelt appreciation activates both the conscious and subconscious mind, harmonizing inner expectation with outer reality. The result is effortless manifestation. Money flows in alignment with belief, opportunity, preparation, and consistent appreciation. Ultimately, gratitude is the culmination of all other practices: aligned thought, belief, patience, generosity, focus, inspired action, and faith. It is the daily expression of recognition for life's gifts, the conscious acknowledgement of abundance in all its forms, and the vibrational key that opens channels for more. Those who attract money effortlessly have made gratitude a core principle, a foundation upon which all other behaviors rest. Their lives are a living testament to the power of appreciation. Through gratitude, they remain in harmony with life, in rhythm with opportunity, and aligned with the flow of endless prosperity. Money does not resist them. Circumstances bend in their favor, and possibilities multiply because they have chosen to live in a state of constant, heartfelt gratitude.